Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. So today I'm going to share a technique with you which I call a mosaic technique, and that's how we created the lovely effect that we've got on our ice cream cones. And this is basically a two for one, because the technique creates two of these. So we've got one on a fun fold card, and we've got a matching gift tag, so you can give the card and your gift and it will be matching. So let me share how we created these. So I'm featuring this bundle, the ice cream swirl bundle, and it's coordinating dies, and all the dies and the stamps that I'm using in this video come from this set, with the exception of a label that I'll share with you shortly. And you can see we've got a stamp for a cone and a swirl. There's a little donut, strawberry, a little cherry there, and there's even here like a little straw, and there's a coordinating die to go with that. Now, first of all, we're going to start with our die cutting, and because we're going to be dealing with tiny little bits of card, I am going to be using the adhesive sheet. Now this comes in sheets of 12 by 6, and so I've cut a piece that is 3 by 3, and I have a piece of bubble bath card that's also 3 by 3, and I'm just going to take the backing off of the one half. I'm going to lay it down like this, and then take the backing off the other side. And now I've got adhesive on my card, which will make it a lot easier when we come to do this technique. Now I'm going to use one of the dies that come in this pack, and this is what's going to cut the swirl. And I'm just going to use my number 1 plate, a clear plate, then put my card, and I'm making sure that my piece of card is adhesive side down, so that I don't, because that's the way I need it to work when I come to do the assembly. So I run it through like that, and I've got my pieces inside here. Okay, now I want to keep all of my pieces. I don't want to throw anything away yet. So we just pop this out. And I already prepared another square of cardstock in Melon Mambo. And I've cut it out, and it's all ready to go. The other thing I want to cut out while we've got the cutting machine is the cone. Now this is how the cone is. It's two-sided, and it has its very own embossing plate. Now they're separate, but I've just pulled them together. Now I found out a little secret, not a secret, but a technique, a hack, if you like, the other day, that to get the best result from this die, when you run it through your machine, you need to run it through the side that has got the embossing die on. You can see that I had a little whoopsie the other day, and I've actually managed to distort my die slightly, but it still works perfectly. So I'm not in any, I'm not disappointed or anything. It's just, if you like, it's a little the technique. So what you do is you lay your outline cone down, and it doesn't matter which side you put the die, the embossing die, but I am going to then just center it up and put a piece of tape to hold it in place. Now, it would have helped, of course, if I put my bit of card down first. So my bit of card is a bit on the wide side, so we're just going to trim that down like this. Perfect. Again, I'm going to pop this in, and I'm going to go corner to corner to get the most out of my card. And I'm going to put the die, embossing die, on the side so that it will go through the machine first. Just need a second little bit of this just to hold that in place. And then I'm going to pop my plate on the top, and then pop that through. There we go. So that gives us the whole cone, which is perfect for the gift tag. And when it comes to doing the cone for the card, all you do is put a smaller piece of card in so that it is kind of about halfway to here. So this is the one that I did earlier. You can see I put a bit of extra card, a bit longer, so I would get this extra piece here. So those are our cones cut, and I think we can now safely pop away the cutting machine. All right. Okay, so there's our pieces. So now we've got our die cut pieces here. So we've got those there. And I cut 2 of these white shapes. Again, that's there in the die set. It's in the die set. And as I say, I just cut them out of plain white card. So now I've got my piece outline here, and we're going to attach it to this white piece. And so we're just going to expose the adhesive. So I'll just scooch the backing off and then just gently pull it away and then line up. And this will give you a small, let me take this piece of black, give you a small outline of white around the edge of your pinky piece. And then we're just going to really pinch that to make sure that the adhesive is well stuck to the card. And now we're going to do a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Bit like a jigsaw puzzle now. Now, earlier I made this one up so that I wouldn't be repeating myself, and you can see that the outline here was in the Melon Mambo, whereas this is in Bubble Bath, and my swirly bits were in Bubble Bath, and whereas these are going to be in Melon Mambo. So that's why you get 2. You need the 2 different colors to make the swirly ice cream, and so you'll end up with 2 cone tops. So all I'm doing here is just matching up my shapes. It's very easy to do, unless of course you lose one. Where's my other one? There it is, like that. And all I'm going to do now is take each piece and gently remove the backing. You just smoosh it up, and then you've got your lovely adhesive on the back. You can just see it shining there. And you're just going to slot it in to the gap, making sure all the other pieces are out the way. Don't get stuck in accidentally like this one is. Okay, just slide it into place and press firmly. Then we're going to take the next piece I need to bring it up a bit closer to my eyes. There, that's better. Like that. Then our next piece. So it doesn't take very long, and actually it's quite relaxing to do this. It's a bit like doing a jigsaw puzzle, but it's very clear where all the pieces go, whereas in a jigsaw puzzle, oftentimes you spend ages pondering which piece goes where. I think with a jigsaw puzzle, the only pieces that are really easy to put in place are the corners. And then if you don't have a square-ish or a rectangular jigsaw puzzle, if you do a round one, you haven't even got your corners to give you any guidance. So then this last little piece is going to go in here. And there we've got our lovely swirls. Then we're going to give this a good old smoosh over with Wink of Stella. I do like Wink of Stella. If you've not used it before, you need to get it in your stash. And it's basically a liquid glitter. And you just paint it on. You can see how I'm painting it on, how it catches the light. And it looks, well, it looks to me a bit like the ice crystals in your... Now, sometimes you just need to give it a squeeze to release a bit more of the ink. But don't squeeze it over your work, because if it comes out in a big old bloop, then it doesn't look quite so pretty. As I say, I always squeeze it over a piece of scratch paper or my hand. And, you know, it doesn't require any careful colouring between the lines. It's just, you can see how I'm smooshing it around here. There. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, lovely. So I'm going to let that dry. So I've got my two ice creams. Set that to one side, and we're going to build our card. So I have a piece of black, basic black, 8.5 by 5 1/4. Let me see. Does that look like half? One, yep. 5 1/2. Yep. And I've scored it at each end at 2 1/8. So I'm getting a gatefold card here, like that. And I'm going to put a couple of panels. So these are basic white, and they're 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And I have just run them through my cut and embossing machine with the painted textures embossing folder. And it kind of, well, it kind of makes it look a bit like ice cream that's, you know, just been, I don't know, had a spoon or a palette knife run over it. But I like the effect that it has. So I'm just going to stick this down with a little liquid. You could use whatever adhesive you prefer. So there's my one side and my second side. And then for my centerpiece, my piece of card is basic white again, and it measures 10.5 by 4, and I scored it at 5 1/4. So we've got that piece. And then I have some decorative paper here, and I've cut it 5 by 4, and this is called the rock and roll decorative paper. So you can see it's all black and white and sort of geometric. There's a sheet of guitars there, and then patterns. So they're great patterns to use. And of course you could do this with like blues, have blue ice cream. It could, because that could be blueberry ice cream. I don't know as I've ever had blueberry ice cream, but I guess it's possible. And maybe then that would sort of work for a fella. So I've popped that piece there, and I've got another strip which is 3 3/4 by 1 inch, and this was basically a scrap. When I trimmed up my piece for the front, I was left with a scrap that I couldn't bear to waste, so we've popped that there. Now, to give it a little bit more, I don't know, character inside, I decided I would stamp the strawberry like that, and I'm going to put the strawberry on my envelope as well, because I can, and because it just gives a little bit more emphasis. There. So there, I'll pop that there, and then I can attach this inside. Now you could use your tape runner, as long as it's like stamping the plus, the stronger one, or you can use your double-sided tape. But here I've used plenty of liquid, and that fits in there beautifully. I'm going to put in my folds to take that extra thickness out. Now I did my labels. Where did I do my labels? Here. So I've got my happy birthday, which I'm going to put here. But somebody suggested to me that it would make a nice Valentine card. So you could always stamp Valentine greeting on that one. And I'm just going to use my liquid again. I don't want to use a Stampin' Dimensionals, because it would put too much bulk inside. So that goes there really nicely, and then we're down like that. So now that we have our card assembled, really, now we're going to decide which of these we want to use on the front of our card. And I think I'm going to use this one this time. And we're going to use the cone that is like just the half cone. Now, I want to make sure that it will fit on my card when it's assembled. So I'm going to lay this down like that, and this piece up here, and I know that it's going to be well in the footprint of my card. And I'm going to lift them up together and just get some tape. This is just regular adhesive tape, whatever you happen to have in your your home. And then I'm going to flip that back and put a little bit of liquid in down there, just to hold that piece in place. So there's my front piece there. Now, of course, I want my card to open up like this. So when I stick this down, I've got to make sure that my Stampin' Dimensionals are only going to be on this side. So you just have to be a weeny bit mindful. So I know I can put one up there without any trouble at all. And I can put one under here without it's not causing me any issues. And I can put one under the edge of this cone. And the only other one I can put in safely is to put one under here. And what I'm going to do to make sure that it doesn't accidentally hit the other side is I'm actually going to just put it on the side flap of my card. And I know now it's not gonna stick the other side together. So we get the backing off of these little beauties. And just lie that down. There we go. My little greeting here is again from the stamp set, and both the inside and the outside greeting is using the label dies from the Thoughtful Expressions dies. And I've used these on several of my videos. You go back and look for them. You can see there's all these lovely layered pieces, hummingbird. I love this set. So we're going to put a couple of dimensionals down, and I'm going to put them on the cone. Again, if I put them on the cone, it means I don't have to guess where to put them on my label, so it won't go outside the safe area of the cone. And then I can just put that. Hope your day is sweet. So there's my card. I could put a couple of rhinestones on the top as sprinkles. Maybe I'll do that in a moment. So let's go ahead and talk about the gift tag. Now, what I forgot to do on my other cone, which I will do now very carefully, is to make it look a little bit more realistic. I did add some sponging, and I've just used crumb cake ink. I'll just put it on there for now. Silly of me to forget, huh? So this one, I'll just go and put a little bit of sponging round there just to give it some colour. And the die actually put in a crease, a fold line. You can see it's just here. And I'm just going to fold against that line and put it in with my bone folder. Now this time I am going to use some double-sided tape to hold my ice cream in place, and I'm going to put a piece to the top there and a piece to the bottom here. And we just take that off. Take the backing off of my ice cream swirl and just attach the two together and press really, really firmly. Now my greeting on there is this little stamp called Yum Yum, and all I did was get a strip of card. I think this is like 1/2 inch wide, and I just sort of stamped it twice. And I'm going to just trim off my yum and my yum. And one I'm going to stick down flat onto the cone. And if you want to, you could put a third one. You could have yum, yum, yum. It's up to you. And then we're going to put the other one on a dimensional. And we just have it going like that. Now we need to punch a hole. So any hole punch will work. I've got my crocodile that I've had forever. And I recommend that you use the larger hole, and you turn this upside down and you can see the card in there, and you can make sure that you've put it sufficiently in to get a nice hole. And then I got a piece of this beautiful, this elegant silver twine. It comes in a pack of gold and silver, and I use it a lot if you follow my videos. It does get a little bit curly. So I've found if I get my bone folder and drape it over, I'm not putting any pressure on, not like when you do curling ribbon for your gifts. And I'm just gently pulling it through like that. And you can see that the worst of the curly goes away. And then I'm just going to fold it in half and push the loop through my hole, pull it through, pop that. And then you can either leave it loose, or you could just tie a little knot in it, and it's ready for your gifts. So there we are. We've used the technique, which I call the Mosaic Technique, and we've created a really pretty fun fold and a gift tag to go with it. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed sharing this item with you. If you have enjoyed, give me a thumbs up there, subscribe and share my videos. I would appreciate that. And I will look forward to seeing you with another project sometime soon. So thank you for joining me. Bye-bye for now.